Hey everyone, welcome back to Live Coding today. Our topic today is AI powered private payment. That's a fun saying on COTI for confidential dApps. Joining us today, we have Calvin, we have Upendra, and of course, our lead speaker, Rafa. We'll explore on how AI and COTI makes private smart apps. And, let's jump right in. The floor's yours, Rafa.
Thank you so much, Kit. All right. Well, yeah. Today we're gonna build some smart contracts and also different protocols, but just exploring a little bit how a private payments works and what should you take care about when you are trying to or when you are building a project. So I will share my screen and I will start to draw a diagram about that. As you can see, I'm a big fan of this scheduler,
Yeah, I
and I
see
love
you
to
use
make
this all
diagrams.
the time.
Yeah. But it's like for easy for me and just to explain like all the diagram and all the flow of the depths and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, I know why.
um,
Can we jump in? Can I ask if why do you use this over Miro? Is it because it's simpler?
yeah, it's because it's simpler and because you can draw like noodles with this and with your pencil, and I
Mm,
mean, looks like notes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks like literally when you're working on a blackboard.
And if it's free,
hmm It's
okay,
free.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. Also, you can. I mean, you can
you had me at
translate
three.
from. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
free, but has a pro plan. Like you wrote a prompt, and Excadrilla will draw for you that prompt. So I will
Oh,
explain
wow.
later with this. Yeah, it's great. Um.
That is nice.
So okay. Yeah, that's nice. But I think it's only for pro plan. But I will explain
Mm,
more about that. Um. What else? Yeah. So starting with this topic about private payments, as you can see, in COTI, we are a layer 2 of Ethereum with garbled circuits that uh, basically you can make private everything you want. And a big topic in this ecosystem, in Web3 and cryptocurrency ecosystem, all the people use it just for payments, of course, for stable coins,
mhm.
for native currencies, for Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. And a lot of people wants that their payments and their transactions should be private, you know? And why? Because probably they are like, I don't know, millionaire. Like for example, Pendra is a millionaire, right? And wants to make a transaction to Kit, but he doesn't want to show in the Explorer that he's transferring a million of Cody or millions of dollars to Kit. So that's why it's important in make up private protocols for private payments. And Cody is the big answer for this and for
Mm,
any private stuff that you want to create. So okay, so let's start with a big topic that is private payments, and let's start a little bit with the flow that we're gonna create today with a smart contract. So we have here a Bob. We have Bob, and Bob wants to transfer an ERC20, let's say, all right, to Alice. So when you transfer some tokens, uh, uh, but you're transferring a lot of tokens. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna say
um,
hundred
can you
thousand.
explain
Yeah,
what's ERC20?
yeah, of course. So ERC20 is um, the is if ERC means to Ethereum request. I don't know the last one. ERC Ethereum. ERC. Let me check the. Sorry, Saki. Yeah. Well, as you can see, I think I explained this a little bit, this topic, but first, before an ERC, there is an EIP that is Ethereum Improvement Proposal. And this is like a proposal of a smart contract to standardize like a smart contract. Like it can be a token, a protocol, an NFT, and real world asset or whatever any smart contract that you want to upload to the community, and the community will use that EIP once has been approved by the Ethereum community. So once it's approved that EIP, it convert, or actually it will be an Ethereum request. I forget the C. Upendra, do you remember what is the C? ERC?
It's an Ethereum request for comment, but they omitted the FM form. Yeah. And the 20th one was the standards.
Yeah.
Can I try to like explain it in layman's term? Because I remember Robert showing me the Ethereum request for comment. Basically, for Ethereum, for anyone can submit a proposal as law, as a new law that for a new way for a contract to be done. So I think NFTs are one of the proposals, and when that got approved, then NFTs became a thing. Is that right, Robert?
Yeah.
Or Rafa?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
There are ERC standards to use for NFTs. You can scroll down in this list. I always forget them by heart. Upendra. Was it 1559 was one for collections, I think. I always forget the exact numbers.
So the cool thing about Ethereum and also the blockchain is that it's all community based and community development. And if someone likes a proposal, then they can. I think it's is it a vote to accept the proposal?
Yeah, I mean, like the community approved the proposal. If you go to GitHub from Ethereum EIP, you will find a lot of requests of standards that community is pushing all the time. So if you go to pull request, you will find like, hey, I'm the creator of EIP 2926, and in that PR, the community and the developers are pushing a documentation and also the smart contract of their standard and their proposal. And also you will find out more about those proposal that has been approved in this table directly from Ethereum. And the interesting thing is that it's not only, of course, for Ethereum, it's for all the EVM blockchains like COTI. And in COTI, you can choose one, and that's it. But what's the thing here? Well, COTI obviously supports and actually handle private smart contracts. So here you need to translate like your approved smart contract to a private smart contract with garbled circuits or with any other library from COTI. So yeah.
And ERC20 is pretty much just an approved smart contract format.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the NFT one was ERC 721. I forgot the number, but yeah, it's somewhere down the list as well. Yeah, non-fungible token.
Yeah.
But I have a doubt. Like, I think it also involved like if there is any changes proposed on the Ethereum native chain, then it's also called the EIP, right? Just not the contracts.
The like famous ones were the I think a proposal to burn part of the gas fees, for instance, which changes the inflation rate, or at least has influence on the amount. So those are also proposals. They're not token standards, but they're other parts of the network.
Yeah, exactly. It's also for a protocol of Ethereum, but Ethereum blockchain, only Ethereum. Of course, because it's like the first blockchain with EVM. As you can see here, you can see the authors, like Vitalik Buterin was the author of this standard. That's it. I mean, everyone can do that. Upendra can do that. Key can do that. Robert, Calvin, or whoever. But yeah, that's actually we are using the ERC20 just to explain this flow in this example. So let's say that Bob wants to transfer an ERC20 token to to Alice, and wants to transfer a stable coin called, I don't know, probably COTI USD, right? And wants to transfer that amount. But what happens when you see the transaction hash? That remember that the transaction hash is basically the, let's say, the result of your transaction. Okay, that start with OX and a bunch of numbers that you will find out more in COTI scanner. Right here, I want to show you an example. For example, this is the transaction hash. And once you have the transaction hash, you can learn and you can find more details about this transaction, about what is the receiver address, who sent the address, what is the amount, etc. So here, probably a lot of people doesn't want to show their details of the transaction because it's a big payment or whatever, or for whatever they want. And that's why we can create a private smart contract. And in this ERC20, just to hide those details or encrypt those details, actually, to let now to Alice and to Bob as receiver and the sender the details. Okay, so the first step is really basic. We can search ERC20 COTI private contract, and you will find a simple smart contract using the private ERC20 library directly from COTI GitHub. So this is the basic smart contract you can deploy, but we already done this many times in the last live streams. So let's build something more complex, right? So probably we want to create a system that can process some payments from many ERC20 tokens, and wants to send or receive or a receipt to the sender and the receiver about the payment. Okay, so that's we want to build today. I don't know, maybe you want to propose something else, guys. We can do whatever. The goal is just to share the some advices with bytecode and with smart contracts. You have the word, guys.
So you're asking for a suggestion for NAP or for dApp?
Yeah, we can build for free for you at dApp. Of course, with private payment. If not, okay, I can build the system. It's not, I mean.
How about
you cannot worry.
Like something like an automatic saver. Like you have an address which has a certain reserve, and after every X amount of blocks, it transfers a little bit to another wallet, which will be your pension wallet, for instance. Just
okay, right. like a car checking to a savings account.
Yeah, something like that. Automatically, yeah. Because it would also demo us how you can add in a timer, let's say.
Yeah. Okay. Like a meter each time.
Yeah. Yeah. If we can link that. Would you need an Oracle for that, or can you just use block times?
Okay, I will call it as automatic private payments. So let's say that we have a smart contract, and that smart contract will mint some tokens to an address, let's say to the receiver, and this function, the mint tokens, will mint each 30 seconds, let's say. That's it, right, Robert?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, with this, when we are adding or attaching a time into a smart contract, we always should take the block timestamp as our tool to take the minutes or seconds or whatever you want the time to, I don't know, 2 minutes or whatever you want. So that is called as block.timestamp. So with that one, we can get the time into the blockchain, but in real time also.
Can I ask a little bit about that? Because I know that block times is not tied to real time. How does the block times match?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we need to figure it out. Like, why is important this? Well, if we, for example, if in COTI, I don't remember what is the block timestamp.
In Ethereum, it's on average 12 seconds. But
12 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in 12 seconds, it's the time of each block. Okay. So when we get that time for each block, we can take it as as a tool to say, hey, I want to mint one token each 36 seconds. So what is the meaning with this? So you need to say to the function and to pass as a parameter that, hey, I want to mint the token each three blocks in the blockchain. That means that you are minting each 36 seconds your token. So that's the as a parameter like into the smart contract that will help us for any time or any like tool to, I don't know, to mint or to do whatever you want into the block. For example, in ERC20 is very common to use it for free to freeze an account or to freeze some tokens if a user has been banned or something like that. Yeah, but we can use it or use any other one. So okay, so the smart contract will mint the token any 30 seconds to on the receiver, and that's it. So I will do that with Kira. As you know, Kira is my favorite ID for these use cases. And I will use my boilerplate that already has the... Oops, let me install the packages. That already have the COTI Ether library. Okay. So I will start by code that create simple private payments system to add to that allow to mint a specific account with a function that add receiver. I will say this is a list. Allow it to receive the tokens. And mint each 30 seconds one token. That's it. So let's see if Kira will build our smart contract very well. So okay, right now is like learning the account on board smart contract that obviously is taking the MPC core library, and that is creating an interface for this smart contract. So okay, first of all, created an interface that is really cool, and we'll start with this main smart contract. Should be really simple. Okay, there we go. So first of all, we declare the owner as the address. The owner is, of course, myself. We are creating a constant that is the mint interval that is each 30 seconds, and the mint amount 1 ether. Yeah, of course. Also, okay, I forgot about this. In Solidity, we have the seconds also. Sorry for this, Calvin. Also minutes, hours, and I think also days. So also you can take this as a constant just to mint your tokens into this smart contract. We also have a mapping that is only for the list of the all of the receivers that are allowed to receive this token, the balances, also the last time mint, a modifier. Okay, that's cool, very simple. We have a function to add a receiver, to remove a receiver, to mint the tokens manually, as I see. And what else? Also some functions to read the status and the state of the user. Okay, that's cool. Just the thing is right here that if I execute this function, will execute then tokens that time, but okay, let me check. No, it's actually not doing that. Well, okay, let's read Kira. So let's say that the main contract with owner only access control, allow receiver list management, 30-second minting cooldown, 1 token mil per operation. Owner can mint 1 token every 30 seconds to allow receiver. Okay, so I will say mint function should execute every 30 seconds. Should not be manually. Yeah, because that was failing.
Yeah, that's right. Like that's not possible using contracts only.
Yeah, the thing I'm thinking is that with an external call, like into the dApp, have like a like a timer to call this smart contract every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, indeed. So let me take back my smart contract. I would say, please. No, discard last changes. All right, there we go. So, okay, what is our front-end app that we're gonna build just to call this smart contract or any script or whatever like that? So I'm gonna create a front-end project. I will call it npx create next app latest. That this means that I'm gonna create like a next JS front-end app from the beginning in the latest version. Okay, sorry. Well, I can call it to from bytecode. Great. And Next.js project using Tailwind and Rainbow. Okay, no, I highly recommend just to configure with Rainbow Kit and to install it, just because I already have like a huge and a really good setup for connect your wallet. So I'm gonna create my project right here. I will suggest, and I will call it private payments. And in the meantime, we're gonna check this smart contract. So basically, this function only allow to mint once has passed 30 seconds. If you are under that time, and you want to mean twice before the time, it won't allow. And why? Because this modifier, right? That say block timestamp should be more or equal to the last mean time, and the plus mean interval, that means that you cannot mean before 30 seconds, right? So, okay. What else? We have a test, and we're gonna deploy the smart contract with this. Okay, create. I will say that create and script to deploy this smart contract. Okay, so if we go to the script directory, we will find this deployment smart contract for our private payments.sol. And if we go to package.json and we go to scripts that starts from the 12th line, we will find that we can see in the line 17 a script that say deploy mainnet. This is a script just to deploy the smart contract into the COTI mainnet blockchain, and we can attach right here the name of the script we want to deploy, of course, from the smart contract. So this is the name of my script, and that's it. The only thing you need to write in your terminal is yarn deploy mainnet, and that's it. You will start to Okay, I have an issue, but I will delete the test because I don't care about the test right now. Okay, here we have an issue. Because is okay, let me check this issue. Private key is not found. Player key. I will ask the Kiro what is going on here. It said that doesn't find the player key, but I already have in my environment variables. But probably it's because I need to set up my private key in my environment, in my local. This is common with Foundry. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Okay. I will try with the COTI testnet. I will write your deploy testnet.
This is an aside, Rafa. How long have you been using Kiro?
Like literally 1 month.
Yeah, it's super new. Do you like it more
Early
than
adopter.
the others? Yeah, right. Did you
Yeah,
have Amazon?
They already published their pricing version, so you can start to use by Kiro. To pay like $20, I recommend that plan, and that's it. You can start to buy code. But yeah,
Kiro versus
I recommend
Cursor.
Kiro versus Cursor. It depends, because if you are a vibe coder or no coder and you don't know much about how to code since scratch and smart contract, I highly recommend vibe code just to start your setup of your smart contract and the basics. But if you're if you are a developer, I recommend Cloud. Why? Because with Cloud you can ask for atomic tasks. That, let's say, I write a smart contract and I ask to Cloud, hey, I have this function with this context, with this parameter. I want to create like an automatic function private payments, and Cloud will work with it. But what's the thing? Actually, Kiro is using Cloud, but the thing is that Kiro is understanding the the full context of your project, the libraries that the smart contract that in your project has, and how it's important, how is it using it, and also that's actually the difference, but it's using the same AI. It's interesting thing, right? But yeah, for smart contract, I'm started using Tukiro. For our front-end project, I will use Cloud, and you will see how I'm using Cloud for atomic task. But yeah, well, yeah, it's deploying our smart contract to testnet blockchain. Yeah, I'm going to testnet COTI scan just to check that the transaction has been okay. It's not in the mempool yet, but okay. In the meantime, we just wait. Compile successfully, and that's it. So we are going to cursor, and okay, I'm going to my terminal, and I will open my project that is called as private payments. I will say code, and I will open my cursor, and that's it. Let's go into cursor. I mean, I'm not using cursor itself, because I'm using always, since Cloud launched their Cloud CLI, I'm always using the CLI into the terminal into cursor. So I'm not using cursor just like the AI agent and their scheme. But also, of course, you can do that. But why? I recommended this. If you go to cursor pricing, you will see that the Pro plan for $20 each month has limits for your request, or limit tokens for your plan. And why? If you go there, you will find that you are spending a bunch of tokens, and this is I don't like it, and you will spend more tokens in Cursor than in Cloud CLI. Okay, so if I'm going to, there is like a configuration for how many tokens I use. Let me find it. No, I don't remember. Let me sign in.
I think we've viewed it before, but that wasn't in Kira. I think Upendra, you showed it in the other editors.
Yeah, I showed you guys. Yeah, you can see from here the uses.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, indeed. You can see the usage of how many tokens have you used with Cursor. But I don't recommend it. Why? Because with Cloud, if you difference Cursor versus Cloud, let's say Cloud pricing, with Cloud, you have more opportunity to, for example, I use Cloud, and if I use it from the morning, let's say since 7 a.m., will get me a pause of my limits to half of the day. I mean 12. I use it like 5 hours without pause and without stop. And Cloud is still working. Thing that with Cursor does not happen because it has a limit with the 20 Pro plan. So that's why I'm using always Cloud CLI versus Cursor.
Okay, all right, more cost effective.
Yeah.
And Cursor just burns through tokens a lot more. I imagine it's because it's also like they don't have their own LLM. They're actually using Cloud API.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And also, of course, has more AI agents into Cursor. But if I want to delete Cursor, I mean, I have no issue because I'm always using the CLI. So that's it. All right, I'm gonna start my project. Let's check if our smart contract has been deployed. It looks like it doesn't, but we don't worry. I am going to my project that is in this port. Okay, let's start. This is an XJS project, really basic with Rainbow Kit Connect. We need a project ID. I highly recommend Rainbow Kit because it's really easy to use and has a cute documentation. So I'm going to get my project ID, as you can see, is right here. But where do you get that project ID? Well, you will get it from, let me go to the documentation, Rainbow Kit, and going to installation. Okay, cool. Project ID. It's right here. Oh,
If
Wallet
that's free,
Connect Cloud.
if that's free
Sorry?
or paid, Rafa,
No, it's free. It's free. It's free.
it's free. Great.
Yeah, I use it for a lot of Web3 projects. So we go here, we create an account, and we say that I want an app ID. Oh, sorry, it's not here. To my dashboard, and where is it? I want to. I remember this project, but look,
Maybe
project ID is right
in
here.
the secret section.
No, it's actually this. They provide it into the navbar.
Oh,
That is right here. Yeah. That's it. That's basically this. But we want to config our own chain. That is, of course, COTI blockchain. So we're gonna create into the source a directory called as utils. I'm gonna create COTI.ts. I'm gonna create a simple const that says COTI testnet is equal to that one, but I will import the chain type directly from WACME. And that's it. Yeah. Okay, cool. So right now I have the script, the const, and just I need to define the ID of the COTI testnet, the network, the currency, blah, blah, blah. That it looks that already Cursor did for me, but I always need to check it because, of course, don't trust the AI at the first time. Just try to check every time that always is working. For example, the RPC is wrong. So this is wrong. I need to change it. This is the correct RPC directly from the COTI documentation. We have also the block explorer. I will copy. I will paste it here. Contracts, actually, we doesn't care because we don't want to add contracts. Network, I will say COTI testnet. And that's it. Actually, also the chain ID. And there we go. Then we import in the WACME configuration file and we add it right here. Okay. So let's delete the other chains that we do not care. And that's it. I would just will ask to Cloud to fix my file. That I will type my file, WACME. That's it. Okay, I will allow to make changes very, very quickly. Okay, yeah, but I have this issue. I will copy this and I will ask to Cloud instead Cursor AI agent. And that's it. Okay, yeah, it looks like delete my project ID. I just will copy here. That's it. And okay, there. Let's go to our dApp. Let's wait. Sorry, I think I have many tabs open.
Is that why it's
Too many
running
tabs.
slowly?
Yeah, that's a vibe code issue always, or actually for any developer or any people that loves to have many tabs. But okay, there we go. It opened our project, and as you can see, I have my MetaMask, but I don't know what is. Okay, yeah, looks like already works. Cool. Already, what is happening with that? Let me open with another navigator. That is this one. Don't worry, guys. Always happen. Okay, now let me check the.
We know it always happens.
We have like an issue right here. Yeah, I'm gonna restart this one, and I will take the network instead the localhost. Okay. Let me delete some tabs. Okay. GitHub. Okay, so if we can connect to our dApp, and as you can see, this is a beautiful model provided by RainbowKit. That you don't need to do that since scratch if you already has a provider like RainbowKit. And that's it. We connect, and we'll detect our network that is in COTI, and also we'll detect the balance of COTI that I have. But of course, I have not COTI, so I will switch to my account number 1, and I have 4.97 COTI cryptocurrency. So that's it. And all right, so let's wait our deployment. In the meantime, I will try to deploy to the mainnet, because of course in the testnet, as we have like a few nodes for the testnet chain. Of course, this is slow, but if you deploy to mainnet, it will be faster. So I will try to deploy mainnet, and I will check what's the issue that appears. Okay, says that fail COTI as a type. Okay, I understand that. Looks like it's requesting me to add a OX in the deployer key. Does not exist. Yeah. I have this issue. Deploying to mainnet, yarn deploy mainnet. That's it. Okay, cool. It says that I can deploy right now. Nice. Look, it's deploying right now to the mainnet. Let's wait. All right, should not be slow, this one. In the meantime, we can check if it's working. Right here, we're going to mainnet, and we go to the block explorer. Okay. We search the transaction. Okay, it's still working. Well, okay, let's create our deployment. In the meantime, let's create a beautiful UI. Okay, so I will ask to Claude to create. Oh, okay. If we want to interact with this smart contract, we need to start with the private types provided by COTI Ethers. That is a library that will help us to define the types and the private types and the structs provided by the smart contract, but with JavaScript or TypeScript, of course. So I will start to install, just copying this command, and you should paste in your terminal in your front-end project. Okay, cool. Already installed. And then I will ask the Cloud to create a script to interact with my smart contract. Okay, but I want to create a configuration of my smart contract, so I will call it as smart contract.ts, and I will export const my smart contract address because it's the first thing that my script needs to know. I will define like that, and I will also export const smart contract ABI, that is the JSON result of my smart contract, and the other one is the provider that actually will be the user, MetaMask, that will execute that. Okay, so I will create right here my ABI, and I will say sm JSON, and I will create a JSON, call it a SAPI, into an array, and I will, okay, looks like no one wants my transaction. So I'm going to cache or out.
How unrealistic.
Yeah, indeed. I don't know, probably it's because it's a low payment. Okay, I will say increase the transaction fee into the deployment for my command yarn deploy mainnet. What I'm requesting is just increase the fee or the gas fee of the deploy just to save my transaction. So
Rafa, meanwhile, like if we for the viewers, like there a quick recap, we have deployed a we developed a smart contract, and we have created a UI with a wallet kit, and now we are trying to deploy the smart contract as well as add the functionality to integration of front end with the smart contract together, because we have AI to do both the things together.
yeah, exactly. Like, first of all, try to deploy smart contract and then create a client that is our frontend that will call to this smart contract, interacting with the wallet user.
And
So that's the
we
flow.
have we have one smart contract, right, like a ERC20 library integrated there, and we created a functionality calling which we can regularly mint the private token to the receiver's address.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, but um, yeah, actually, this is the middle smart contract because I did not add an ERC20, and you're right, because there's no like ERC20 that can mean right here. So it will mean like I actually it's not like minted itself something, it's just like attach or like adding into a mapping the mint token. But you're right. What I gonna do is like, hey, please just create a simple private ERC20 token and add it into this private payment smart contract and deploy that token. So
So
Well, we can just go into docs.
yeah, for for the viewer, we gonna have two smart contract now.
No, yeah,
One
we're gonna need
one
a
will be
private
a
smart
sample
contract.
ERC20 private token, and another which will manage the transactions regularly.
Yeah, we'll manage this smart contract, our private. So I will call it as PRC20. You know, like and just paste this one. But of course, we need to check that the main function is working and is working as we expect. So I will say that is to address to, and we have an Win64 an amount. And I will add a modifier that only contract can call that that this function. So I will assign as a parameter just to index the, or actually I want to avoid this one, and I will say that require that the message.sender is equal to the owner of this smart contract. So I will say that address contract color is an address right here. Okay, I will see this public. And that's it. But once I deploy this smart contract, I will add an address. But okay, I will create another function just to add one, add contract color, and I will accept an address parameter. New contract color, and this will be only what with an external, and will return us a boolean, and it required that the address is not the address 0. Cannot be address 0, and we'll add our address. But of course, let's use Kira just to do this, and let's say in PER20 token, complete the contract to let add a contract color address, and to let mint tokens only by that address. So what are we doing here? So in our private system tokens, this contract is only allowed to mint tokens by this smart contract address. So I'm gonna draw that flow. So we have a middle smart contract, call it as private payments, and we have our ERC20 token. But once you want to mint tokens, this will call to this token address, to this token smart contract, and we'll send to the receiver. But what is happening here? So private tokens is actually this token is only allows to this contract address to mint the token, because what happens if the receiver wants to mint directly from this smart contract? So we'll receive as many tokens as he wants. That's it. That means, and it's only allow only each 30 seconds, and that's it. That's how it works. So actually we have a problem with the deployment. Okay, we won't worry about that. So let's explore a little bit the smart contract, just a little bit behind it, just to how it works that private flow of payment. So if we go deep, once the receiver that is into the client side, that is our front end, this should call to MetaMask. MetaMask will say that, okay, I recognize this smart contract. The smart contract has that function, etc., etc., and will call to the, as you can see, to the private payment smart contract, and the payment smart contract will check and will filter that is allow the user, and the ERC20 caller address is the correct one. So that's how it works. Actually, those two smart contract, but okay, let's wait the transaction that has been completed. I don't know why it's not deploying successfully. I will try again. Got it. Config only 2.0.8.8 version. That, as you know, in COTI blockchain, we only support the previous EVM version. That if we go to search EVM versions, we will find out more about this information. Ethereum, I think right now is in Cancun version, and COTI is 2 versions behind. That is Paris version. Okay, why this is happening? Well, in COTI only support, of course, our latest EVM compiler is Paris. That means that Paris is the 0.8.19 version. That, as you can see, is the requirement. Okay, so that's why we always need to check our smart contract is only with this version and is not over that version. Invalid means, okay, I will say that this issue is appearing here. Yeah, of course, we'll convert to set public into a private type. Why? Because it's a challenge if we try to set like a private type as a parameter, because we need to create an object with the ciphertext, with the amount, and with something else. I don't remember, right, Upendra? It's an object.
Yeah, I think the issue is like the slash mint function takes GT type. We need to convert it into GT type.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to implement the validate ciphertext functionality on the amount. Or
Yeah.
no, but like amount is a public address. Like we don't need validate ciphertext. We can just use onboard or deboard function from the GC library. We can check it from the COTI docs AI.
Yeah, indeed, like once the user onboard to COTI and onboard their account, we receive an AAS key. With that key, can start to encrypt the value that is actually the GT weight, isn't it? All right. I'm gonna try to start work. And we'll try to fix it. But yeah, that's actually how a private payment works. But we also can start to, we can also figured out how a DeFi protocol should be with private uh, smart contract payments or private transactions. Uh, but actually, is that the key? How to create a private transaction? Once you have a private transaction, you can create an ecosystem with that, or a DeFi protocol with that, or uh, I don't know, NFT marketplace with that, or real world assets with that, because has many use cases with that. Um, that we're gonna start to explore if this is not start to deploy because we cannot waste time with this. So okay, let's check the use cases that we have. Like the first one is that Robert tell us that is automatic payments. Okay.
Of course, that's just one idea that came up. I mean,
Yeah. No, yeah, of
private
course.
payments are applicable for a lot of things.
For a lot of things. For a lot of things.
Can I ask? So, when it comes to private payments, this is from account to account, even if it's both your account. There is a gas fee any time the transaction happens. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How much is that?
Okay. I think we have we can explore to the private to the scanner. Or you can make a simple transaction from your MetaMask to another user. That coming soon. We're gonna have a Snap COTI dApp that you will allow to transfer private tokens. Because in MetaMask you cannot transfer private ERC20 tokens to another user. Why? Because MetaMask does not support Garbled Circus library. So
Yet.
not yet, of course, yet. The good to know, Robert. But with our Snap, you are of course are allowed to transfer private tokens. So with that, you will find out what is the gas fee. But also you can explore to the mainnet COTI scan and check, for example, this. Actually, the fee right here. Look at this. 0.00013 COTI. That is really cheap. It's really cheap. COTI really, this is the magic of COTI. That is private and is really cheap because of course it's a layer 2 and it's magic. It's magical this. But this is the round amount that for a transaction gas fee. So yeah, that's the gas fee.
Yeah, that's not like 5 cents.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's less than that, I think. Less than that. So in terms of use cases, yeah, Robert has told us we have a bunch of things that we can create with private payments. But for example, the trending topic projects that is appearing in Web3, as you know, is the real world assets. That if you already start to working with COTI, I highly recommend you can start to with RWA because this is the future, and many countries are starting to create some projects with that and tokenize, of course, assets like stocks, like houses, like it's more deep in real estate, but you can start to tokenize any other one using, of course, private smart contract for, of course, to let make private transactions. But that's how the use cases works, and I highly recommend that one. Yeah.
And also, Rafa, like in the last live stream, I explained why for the RWA, COTI privacy is the key. Because like for the RWA, in some cases or in every cases, you're gonna need some privacy. You cannot create whole ecosystem public. It involves the buyer's identity, and it's gonna be involved the user's identity, as well as it kind of involving the real transaction, and which is really big transaction. And some countries regulation may be involved, like they don't want users data publicly available. So I think for the RWA, COTI's
Yeah.
privacy is the most important, can play the most important role there.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. So, for example, if you are trying to start with this, why we recommend RWA? Because DeFi already have their time, like 3 years ago. Also, NFTs had, as you know, has their time. Um, many protocols have their time, but today the future and the present, of course, the real world asset and tokenized stocks are assets, real assets for you. So actually, with private payments, as you see, works for a bunch of things. Uh, also, also, I recommend to you, if you are trying to start with this, first of all, to organize your information. Once you have your information, that okay, I'm gonna create an example with this. I'm gonna say to Claude, I want to create a private ERC platform with private payments using COTI network. I will attach the scalable circuits, and I will tell to Claude that I want to define my project to create also a diagram just to check the flow with this Codula. And with this information, Claude will create some prompts for Claude CLI itself and for Kiro or for any other AI agent. So that's how I recommend to start your project with COTI and with private payments. So I will say that okay, this is my prompt. Create the flow, the user, actually the UI UX flow, and the. Do you remember that I told you that you can add a prompt that will create a diagram? So I will say that I want a sequence mermaid flow. Create the UI UX sequence mermaid flow for my project and create a prompt to use it with Kira and Cloud CLI. So that's how I recommend if you have an idea and you want to drop and you want to explore and you want to expand your own project. And you can see with this flow, I mean, yeah, looks ugly, like this flow to create since scratch. But once you use Scatula, will create like this diagram by.
What does mean by mermaid flow? I think the keyword is a key. Like if a person is a beginner, he know the exact keyword. Like you pasted the keyword here, the mermaid flow. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. And also, as you can see, actually, Cloud created our. Oh, hey, come on. Our diagram, but I mean, I'm gonna create it more simple because it was a big, a huge diagram. So okay, let's go. There we go. There we go. Look at this. This is our sequence flow that we have, and also we can see that we have our landing page. This is really cool, huh? That has also if and no use case, and depends if the user is new or returning user. If it's a new user, we'll sign up, we'll choose the role, we'll have a KYC verification. This is very cool. We'll have a COTI wallet stop, and then in our front end, we will get into the dashboard. Once into the dashboard, we'll filter the user type if it's an asset owner or an investor, and this is the flow of the front end. That is really cool, and also we can check the other the other flow. For example, flow chart is once I like it so much. I think this is one. Yeah, flow chart. Now create in flow chart mermaid. This is more for developers. the flowchart mermaid, but it looks very cool because I usually use this to create my front end or my smart contract or my backend flow. But I will try to copy this and I will use my.
Is that Markdown? Like standardized Markdown?
Sorry?
Oh, yeah, no, I just asking if it was Markdown, but I recognize the mermaid. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's mermaid.
So you can also use the other editors.
Oh, yeah. And as you can see with Xcode, we also have the flow. I think understanding this flow, if you go to, for example, to Cursor, Cloud, CLI, to Gemini, ChatGPT, or whatever tool you wanted, or V0, for example, you just need to copy, for example, this flow, and they will understand what the UI UX flow that you are expecting to have for that one. For example, I'm just gonna try this one with my front-end project. So I will ask to Cloud, please create a front-end project with this flow. Yeah. Let's see if I understand our mermaid flow. I hope Cloud does. I will kill this terminal. And also, of course, you can start to choose any other AI just to copy this flow, but I highly recommend with this. And also for any other topic you want. But remember that we have 3 mermaid flow chart, sequence, and class. Each one has their goal, and you can check into this documentation why and when you need to use each kind of flow. This is sequence diagram that I wanted to have, but as you can see, this is like if you already learned into the Ethereum documentation, you will find that this is always the diagram they have, the sequence flow. That this is how explained, like Alice called to John says great, Alice responds, and that's the flow that in Web3 actually, in Web3 ecosystem developers always use, and also myself, of course. Like as you can see, these are a lot of flows with this. You can start to use Xcode to use it. So if we're going to Cloud CLI, we'll start to create our front-end project for that. Building an authentication system. So of course, I have the Claude Pro plan. So we'll take a little bit of a bit of time to create this front-end.
And Rafa,
but yeah.
Like if you compare right now, like as I can see, you have a great front end skill. So I have some doubts. I wanted to clear with you. What do you suggest? Like I should use Claude Code directly, or should use a Lovable? Like as we know, like Lovable is creating so much cool front end. So how was your experience?
For example, with that, I mean, I like Lovable, also V0 and Bolt, that are the 3 tools that create front-end projects. But only if you're a vibe coder, I recommend it, but not for complex front-end projects. Only for basic, like landing pages or basic, very, very basic front-end projects to interact with, probably with APIs. But no, I don't recommend with that because they will understand something that you are not expecting to have, and they are not understanding the tools that you are using, the libraries, the context, the UI UX flow that you want to have. Also, if they need to authenticate the API calls, or if they need to call to a smart contract or complex things, I do not recommend to use them. When you are trying to build complex things, is because you are now a developer and you are now like you understand a little bit of front end and you understand the basics. Once you understand the basics, the pattern designs, the architecture of front end, also you understand very well the Next.js. All with that, you can start to create a basic project, just like using literally like the command of Next.js. For example, I want to show you this one. you
I
need to, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of
Huh?
asked it because like when I used V0 or Lovable,
Yeah.
it created the UI or the hero page really well. But when it comes to switching between the routes and clicking some button and some pop-ups and all, here it start failing and you need so much iteration. And I thought like Claude can handle that better, but the hero page or the main UI, the first page, and the design, the proper design, I think V0 provides the proper design clearly first. So I was wondering, like, if you tried this flow, like you have showed us the marinated flow, how we can create this flow. So using that flows and using some providing some proper context of color schema, maybe Cloud can also give you like for the vibe code or the for beginner, they can also give a front end, a well prepared front end in a prompt, so that yeah, like now the front, like because if the beginner comes, he going to give some simpler prompt to the cursor or Claude, and the UI is not really good. But for the simple prompt, these browser tools provide a very cool UI. But when it start
Yeah.
becoming complex, these UI tools becoming fail, and here the Claude can works. But this becomes, if we compare, this becomes problem for the initial developer or the beginner developer. What they choose, because they cannot start with the Claude because they don't provide the proper UI upfront. Should we can, or could we can by anyhow improve this prompt or these flowcharts? Like I think they are really cool. They provides proper information. Using these flowchart, if you
Yeah.
have, with your experience, if this Cloud was able to provide a proper UI and cool UI within 2 or 3 prompts.
Yeah, no, from the scratch, no, because you need to describe what is your classes and what kind of UI classes needs to attach. Why? Because m- have you ever seen that any V0 project looks like UI similar, like in terms of buttons, of padding, of colors, of text, of font type, etc.
Do
Looks
you
like
mean best
similar, isn't it?
practices, or or just a
No, no, no,
limitation?
no.
Uh,
In terms of
you're saying
UI,
that it's like
if you go, for example,
similar,
to
they
V0,
pump out the same type of look, right?
no, like the same padding, the same border radius, the same.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
fair.
okay.
Thank you,
I can
Upendra, for
imagine
your
what you mean.
lovely
I can
message.
imagine what you mean.
Yeah, indeed. But looks like similar. Why? Because, for example, with V0, it's using actually, it's not using a library. Oh no, yeah, it's using a UI library, call it as ChatGPT UI. That if you start to working with V0, you always will get an import directly from this library, from this UI library. But they are using the default UI class that you can start to interact, and you can try to improve or change the classes, but they are using the default. And as you can see, like this border radius and the color and the font size and the font type is similar to when you're trying to start with V0 because they are using ChatCN. That is really cool, and also I recommend to use ChatCN even if you are starting with a project since scratch, or also if you're using V0. Thing with Lovable and Bold, I think they are using other libraries. Think that is cool, of course, because they need to understand and they need to have some components. And with this, they won't spend tokens creating a component in scratch. They are using just, hey, take from ChatCN, paste right here, and that's it. For example, they have dialogue, they have components, they have for MPC servers, and a lot of things for front-end projects, and also for every framework you want. For example, always use Next.js, and they use those components. But that's why with V0, when you're starting the project, it looks like similar to the other developer that or pipe coder that start to create a V0 project. The same with Lovable and Bolt. That yeah, But if you're starting since scratch, I just highly recommend to create a command. Sorry, to find a command to create your front end project, and always also I recommend to use Tailwind. And of course, try to install ChatGPT, and with that, you can start to create your complex project. But of course, you need to create atomic task seriously, because if you try to create a project like, hey, create a dashboard with Connect Wallet, and I want to check like the price of every token directly from CoinGecko and etc. They will try to create it, but will be complex for them, because you are generalizing a lot of things and you are not creating atomic tasks for that. But yeah, that's my recommendation with this. Okay, yeah, of course, if you're trying to create a landing page
So,
or something simple,
Rafa, like,
go ahead with
what do you
Visual
mean by
Development.
atomic? Like, if you can give some example.
Yeah, of course. I will open my terminal. Look at this. And I will say in my desktop to Claude, create a simple front-end project with Next.js and Tailwind. This is my first atomic task. The second atomic task will be something like create an navbar. The third one will be create a sidebar. The fourth one will be like create a home page. And that's how atomic task I'm meaning. Because our little tasks they understand and they can do without try to search in web and search and fetch URLs
I
directly from documentation from any library you're requesting into the
Rafa,
prompt.
I
That
think that's interesting, and I always, in my live stream, I try to say, even you don't know the coding, you want to wipe coder, you need to have some information about the domain, also the terminology. Like as you said, like go and create the navbar. So this is the terms a person need to know. Like this, these are the terms, and these are the components of a
yeah.
front end or a body of the front end look like, and these are the common terms. If they don't know even the terms, how they can go and give the proper commands, or proper prompts, so that AI can understand and build it for them. So and I think
Yeah.
they're gonna be like 10, 20 these terms, and they can easily go and ask the AI to list down and explain it, and they can learn it and then start improving their prompt, right? What do you suggest?
Sorry, say it again. I think there's a little bit noise there.
Yeah, I think I agree. So I think what Upendra is saying is like you have to, even if you want to vibe code, you still have to understand the basics and the of terminology, so that you're able
Yeah.
to prompt better, fix it, like ask AI to help fix your code and things like that. Is that right, Upendra?
Yeah, yeah.
That's exactly as I said.
Yeah, no, yeah, of course. And also, you can, if you doesn't want to read like the hard documentation directly from Next.js, Cloud or any AI are adding like for example, okay, right here, that they have like a kind of search or a kind of prompt you want to make. Like if you want to write, if you want to learn, if you want to code, if you want live stuff. For example, you want to learn, and you can add right here in learn part, like I don't know, develop learning frameworks, and we'll create a prompt about that, and we'll retrieve you like all the information and about this, and we'll ask you why do you want that, or what is your goal with this. For example, here it's asking me two questions: what's the context and what type of learning? Are you focused on academic subjects, professional skills, personal development, or something else? And Cloud will understand more about why do you want this, and what kind of info will give you depending of why what is your purpose with this topic. So that's why I recommend Cloud, and also ChatGPT has it. If we go to ChatGPT right here,
But
and we
with
say
Claude, it's
something
limited to the
like here,
token, right?
and study and learn. Yeah. Yeah, if you had a problem, go ahead with Claude. If not, you can go to ChatGPT and you can study and say, hey, I want to learn more about frontend in Next.js. And ChatGPT will understand that, hey, got it. Before we dive in, let me ask you a quick check-in. And if you see in any other AI, always will ask you uh, more specific things just to give you the exactly information that you need to know about the basic and about the topic you are trying to learn. So, okay, current web basics and the React fundamentals. Even with this information, you can start to create your own course or something like that, or your own page that create, I don't know, courses with the topic a user wants, and you can create a beautiful UI with this and with all that things. But yeah, I highly recommend with that. Just as Upendra said, that you need to learn the basics, and once you learn the basics, you can create a more specific prompts and more beautiful prompts to an AI just to expect what you want to receive.
So what you're saying is
That's
we
the
don't
thing.
need college anymore.
Yeah, I'm not
wait.
saying just.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Harvard is listening.
No, but yeah. Also, if you want, for example, if you want to research, Perplexity is the answer for research things. Um, if you want to make an article, a scientific article or a software article, Perplexity is the answer for research things. But yeah, you can just try to explore more, and you can start to dive into AI tools. But that's the thing. You need to understand how to use it, because the AI knows how to do the things. But the thing is, the thing here is that the user, almost including myself, doesn't know how to create a correct prompt to the AI, just to receive what we want, right? To like, for example, AI, UI, or smart contracts, or any other thing. So, yeah, yeah, guys. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts? Any other thing you want to comment?
I think like the UI part, always enjoy. I always enjoy, so I always take deep interest there, and like how can I improve my prompts, because still they are not working properly for me. So I enjoyed that part a lot.
It's very
Oh, yeah,
tangible as
got
well,
it.
of course, and also you see the difference there between the editors and how they or the engines and how they add their own tastes and interpretation to styles, let's say, and
Yeah.
there's a big difference versus give me something functional backend, because that they'll do mostly. If they do properly, it'll be the same.
Here's a super weird one, guys. Have you
Yeah.
guys? I imagine Rafa, Upendra, you haven't touched this at all. But what should we call it? Sorry, blanked out. Canva. Canva has AI now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
based on front end, and mostly used for website building.
Oh yeah, Canva is also a wonderful. I started to use Canva instead PowerPoint. Do you remember PowerPoint? But Canva is like a
I think everyone.
powerful tool to
I think
create like
everyone
sites.
remembers PowerPoint is still
Yeah.
being used today.
Bro,
Most schools and
Canva
universities
is like the
still have PowerPoint somewhere. Yeah. Yeah.
It's only for OGs.
Yeah.
No, but I remember PowerPoint. Canva is a PowerPoint killer. So yeah, I mean Canva is wonderful, and also have their AI. I was really surprised. I think Figma. Do you know, guys?
Yep.
Figma is for for mobile and web design, but I think they already have their AI and they can
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
try to use
I
it.
think
We
we went through
jumped into
that
that
last
Friday.
Friday, right? If
So
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Figma has that.
Yeah.
Like with AI, you can build Figma from there, and there are also so many tools there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
pretty much.
Figma is
Yeah.
paid. I
Mm.
don't think though they have much free there.
Oh yeah. But look at this. With Figma, you can start. Guys, if Figma is like this tool, for anyone who doesn't know what is Figma, Figma is that tool to design mobile and web
Mm.
apps, um, site or apps or whatever you want to design. And with this AI, you can once you have the
Mm.
design, they will provide you, or they will provide you like design that you can export to V0, and with V0 we'll understand like the classes, the components and the containers, and we'll create that design for you. Of course, with Next.js and Tailwind or with the tools that V0 does, and also you can start to explore more. And I think this is very, 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 very cool because with Figma you design exactly like the classes that you want to the developer sees to create a, like the example design in front end or in app. So for example, the height, the width, the height, the border radius, or the padding, the margin, etc. With those classes, the of course will convert it to code and will be exactly as you expect. But yeah, I highly recommend that thing in terms of front end, of
Mm.
course. But yeah, that's it, guys. If you want to learn more about the AI, follow us. And Kid, you have the
Oh,
word right now.
that's a wrap, guy, for the vibe coding today. And thanks everyone for watching live. Of course, big thanks to Robert, Rafa, and Upendra, and Calvin. And of course, yeah, special thank to Rafa for walking us through today. For replays and more content, please visit COTI Foundation on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share for more content. And also, please go check our resource on stay.coti.io. And yeah, until next time, keep vibing, coding, and stay COTI.
Stay
Stay
cutty,
caught,
Stay
stay
guys.
Stay
caught.
got
cutty.
it.
All right.